What's good, everybody? Just got finished watching the Spurs play Dallas. We had to take care of business there real quick. I really do think that we have a good chance of making it to the finals. I think we can beat OKC. We can make it to the finals and probably go ahead and take on old New York. That rivalry we had with our first championship we won. But anyway, I just thought tonight, we call this a movie night. And I love a good movie, man. I could sit down and watch all kinds of movies all day, all night. Don't bother me. Lock the door, turn the lights off, and watch me a good movie. Go watch, a good gangster movie. I'm always up for watching the gangster movies, action movies, a good war movie, a good action-packed movie out there, a good comedy. But I will say this, and I know some of you men out there are gonna be like, oh, take away the man card, but honestly, this is just me. I'm a sucker for chick flicks. Like, I watch a chick flick anytime. You know what I mean? It's like, and there's one movie that I will always love, and I'll pick that no matter what. and that's a movie that I've watched as a kid. It probably came out in 87, 88. I was probably 8 years old when it came out. But I watched it as a kid and I fell in love with it ever since. And that movie is Dirty Dancing. Like, I could watch that movie anytime. You put that against any movie, I'll watch that first. Yes, all the movies. Troy, When We Were Soldiers. You put that up against Dirty Dancing, I'm watching Dirty Dancing. And I know, I get it, you know what I mean? It's a chick flick, but like I said, I'm a sucker for that. It's my all-time favorite. Dirty Dancing is my all-time favorite movie. I can watch it anytime, like I said. I watched it, like I said, I watched it when I was younger. And just loved it. I can tell you a story that, this is how much it's so cool. So I was we were stationed in Germany, like I said before, and we had all took a trip with the youth group that I was with. We took a trip to Italy, and we did the Vatican. We saw the Colosseum, Spanish Steps, all that good stuff. I mean, it was just an amazing trip. It was with my peers, and just all out good time. But we got off the bus and we stayed in some hostel, hotel type deal, and we're all checking in, whatever, and we go up to our rooms, and everybody has a room, and gone upstairs real quick, put my luggage down, and kind of snuck downstairs real quick, and me and the guy that I was rooming with, I forget his name, I could picture his face, but like I said, now we were like 14, 15, maybe 15 years old. Damn, I can't remember his name. But anyway, we snuck downstairs and we had some change in our pocket. We bought a couple of beers from downstairs. We were able to. It's not, you just, here you go in Europe, it's like, here, give me some beer. And they gave us some beer, so we snuck it back upstairs. And we were going to wait, put it in the fridge down there, and we were going to wait till later on, and I have some couple beers there. But anyway, sorry, Mom, sorry, Dad, but yeah, that's what we did. Anyway, so we get up there, we change, we come downstairs, and downstairs there's this ice cream parlor, and everybody meets down there, and everybody gets in there, and immediately I open the door, and we all walk in, and I see the TV, and the minute I looked at the TV, guess what was playing? Dirty Dancing. So everybody's amazing to get Italian ice, and they're all in line, and here I go. I get the chair, I sit right in front of that TV, and I'm watching it. And it's on that part where they're on the log and they're dancing. It's all trying to be, whoa, 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 whoa. And everybody's like, Gil. I'm like, what? They're like, come on, man, pick you an ice cream. I'm like, what? Get whatever. Vanilla. You know what I mean? It's ice cream. And so I'm here, I'm watching, and I'm like, oh my God. I don't even know, I can't even speak Italian, but I know what they're saying because I've seen it so many times. So I'm there watching, they're yelling like, Gil, come on, you can see that anytime you want to. And I'm like, yeah, I can see it anytime I want to, but how many times can I watch it in Italian? So they're like, "Oh, Gil, you're a fool." But so yeah, that was a good experience. And then years down, I was talking with a lady, a woman, um, and I told her about that same trip, and so she went to Italy, and then she sent me back Dirty Dancing in Italian. So I have a Dirty Dancing copy in Italian. It's pretty cool, really neat. Shout out to her. I don't remember her name, but love it. I love the gift. Perfect. So yeah, it's just one of those movies that that just made me think, and it's really good. It's really good. But as I get older, I'm always thinking about Dirty Dancing, and I'm like, man, how was the age difference between her, baby, and Johnny? I mean, I guess she had just graduated from high school, maybe, or something like that. But Johnny has been, he talked about him being like seasons and seasons there at that place. So I always thought to myself, man, that's kind of weird. Like that, that's kind of iffy that they could be a couple. Especially just because she's young and still living with mom and dad, and he's over there already been through it all and had all these different women, and he's messing around with these women. Um, so that was kind of weird. As I got older, man, when I was younger, I was just always just a kid too. But anyway, so it's just a good movie all in all. That my favorite part of that movie is when baby's coming down the steps and she's learning how to dance, and she's dancing and she goes and she messes up and she hops all up and down. I don't know if y'all seen the movie, right? So then she stops and she looks at the mirror. And I think that was the most, like, especially what she was wearing. It was, and at my age too, when I was young, I was like, oh man, she's got these short shorts on and top, but to like now, I really don't think she is that attractive as I did when I was little. So she's kind of like Now the one girl that the older lady that Johnny did talk to, the brunette, the girl with the black hair, and she ends up like saying, "Oh, this is our last night together, lover," and that part. I think she was always even as a young kid, I was like, "Hey man, she's pretty," but before Krugers were Krugers, I guess. But I loved it. I loved it. Not only that, but the movie's great. But you know what? The soundtrack is even better. Like the soundtrack, it's got good songs. I mean, even Patrick Swayze sang a song and it was still good. You know what I mean? Like, what's the song? She's like the wind to my something. I won't start singing because then, I don't know, maybe a copyright because I'm sounding that good. But just kidding. Anyway, but yeah, no, She's Like the Wind was a good song. Hungry Eyes. Hungry Eyes. That was a good one. And then, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow? I bet you Biggie and Tupac are like, what is this dirty talking about? Of course, the big Time of Our Lives. That was a good one. Love is Strange, and he talks, and you can talk about, hey, Romeo, why do you tell your lover boy? I say, come here, lover boy. That's a classic. That's like an epic scene right there. Like nobody will forget. And one of the songs they have, Cry Me, you know what I mean? That was a good one. And Hey Baby, of course, obviously that was a good movie. So definitely, like I said, man, one of my all-time favorites. I kid you not, like I will watch that all the time. It's just one of my favorite. I love it. So if you feel like I feel it, I mean, drop in the comments what's your favorite part, what's your favorite scene, what's your favorite song, that'd be cool to listen to. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, I love a good movie. And there's another movie that really caught my attention as a kid too, and this movie is called Cocktails, and this is with Tom Cruise and Elizabeth Shue. I can't forget his friend's name, but he's a good actor. He was in Along Came Polly. He was the one who jumps off of the building, and he's all trying to analyze if he could be insured or not, whatever. That guy, he's in that movie, and it's basically just about a guy that that gets home from the military. He comes to New York and he wants to make $1 million, right? Who doesn't want to make $1 million, right? So he goes in there and he goes to see his uncle, and his uncles are telling him this and that. Um, and so he just ventures off, tries to go to college. Doesn't hack. He doesn't like it. It's not for him. He starts going into his bar, and he says he wants to be a bartender. So he starts being a bartender, and they're having a good time. It's like Coyote Ugly before Coyote Ugly. So Cocktails is like, what maybe they got the idea from it, because Cocktails it was pretty good. They would flip the bottles and all this stuff. So great movie. I love it. A lot of things that are in that movie I say to this day. Like when I was a kid, I would use some of the lines that he said. There's a he says to the girl, he says, she goes, what's your trick? What's your deal? He goes, what you see is what you get. And I've always said that. Like I've always said, what you see is what you get. So that was good. I like that. There's a lot of things out there like so he ends up trying to make $1 million, and his friend, they start going into being a bartender, and they just a good time. Like I love the movie. The movie is really good. He goes, and his best friend tries to get with his girlfriend, and he starts talking to her and telling her all about this stuff. And one of the lines that she comes out saying, she goes, "It's too bad you can't keep your mouth shut about our sex life. It only gets better." I use that to this day too. Like I was like, it only gets better. Anybody, if I'm ever, with a female or something like that, I'm always saying, Gil, you're so cool, you're so nice, you're so funny. It only gets better. So, that's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you see it. Elizabeth Shue is fine. She's, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just in all out, I just think she's really pretty. And Karate Kid, Adventures in Babysitting, even the new Cobra Kai. She's older. She's, I think she's really pretty. So that's another reason why I like that. I like that movie. And also too, man, the soundtrack to that movie is good. Like the soundtrack is good too. It got this magic moment while your lips are close to mine, we dance forever. You know what song I'm talking about, right? That's good. Go check out the soundtrack. The soundtrack is pretty good. Don't Worry, Be Happy. Kokomo, Key Largo, Montego. Hey, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahamas. Come on, pretty mama. Ooh, maybe I should start singing, guys. You think I should start singing? No, I'm just kidding. But you can catch me at karaoke though. That's for sure. No, but a good, awesome movie, man. You guys go check that out. I know it's an oldie, but to me it's a classic, and I love that movie so much. It's just a good movie, all in all. So, but then, like I said, Dirty Dancing, Cocktails, two totally different movies, but good. The storyline is great. It gets really deep. It's really good. And check it out if you haven't seen it. Now this next movie I'm going to talk about, and you guys might have noted, and again, these are movies that I was watching in the 80s and the 90s, right? And one of the movies that I really enjoyed watching, and not because it was the sex scenes and the nudity, but this movie that I'm about to tell you about just messed me up the way I thought about women. And this movie is The Last American Virgin. You guys remember that movie? So, yeah, Karen. And if you guys know the movie, you understand where I'm coming from. Because women do that. Like, women will be with a boy, right? And he sucks. He completely sucks. And then she'll go out, one night with some girls and meet a great man, right? Meet a great man, and then just totally have a great time, but then just and go back to the boy that she's with. You know what I'm saying? Women don't knock on the door for the man because she's too busy answering the door in the back door for the boy. Like, that's just what's crazy to me. So, just made it, that that movie, and again, I mind you, I'm probably 9, 10 years old when this movie came out, or it might have been out earlier, but I saw it when I was 9 or 10. I don't know what time, when exactly the time frame it came out, but when I saw that movie, and I saw this kid, it was a good guy. He loved this girl. He wanted to be with her. He would have treated her way better than the guy that she was talking to before. And the bad thing about it is they were best friends. Like, and he still went off, and she ended up, anyway, horrible, 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 horrible. So like I said, so he goes and helps her out. She gets in trouble, right? She gets pregnant. The boy that she's with ends up leaving, going out with, to some ski resort thing, and this guy stays with her and helps her, gets the abortion, takes care of her, blah blah blah. He falls in love. She feels something too, and then all of a sudden, pow! He comes back in the movie, and she's with him, and he's like, "What the fudge?" Women, it's happened to me before, and I'm pretty sure it's happened to you, man, where there's a girl that you like, and she's all talking about this guy that's no good for her, no good, and no good, and no good. Then she meets you, and then all of a sudden she goes back to this dude, and you're just like, what are you doing? Like, no wonder you're so stupid. Like, no wonder you're always gonna be that woman with just gonna stay the way you are for the rest of your life, because you can't leave this man that doesn't do you right, but you like him for some reason. I don't know, but that's great. That movie really, really opened my eyes, and I'm like, man, women are strange. They always want the good man, but when the good man comes, she takes the person that's other. So that's a good movie in itself. They do have a lot of wild parts, like I said, nudity and all this other stuff. Like, I forget the Mexican actress that they go and they deliver pizza to, and all three guys go up there, and she's like, "Ooh, which one of you muchachos want a piece of me?" And then they go into the room, and they had one of the guys ends up having sex. Then the other guy comes in, and he's one having sex, and then all of a sudden the boyfriend comes in from wherever he was in the military, and he's like, "What the hell?" They all run out. and then they go out there and they pay for it. They get a prostitute, and they all do it, and they all fucking end up with crabs, and they're in the pool, and they're trying to drown the crabs. Oh my god, it's a fucking classic. And then they meet these three girls at the restaurant or whatever, where the hangout, and there's 3 and 3, right? So there was 2 pretty girls and a fat girl. And then these guys are like, "Oh, okay." So they start talking, and the fat girl's like, "Oh, you got any drugs?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, sure, we got drugs." End up giving them like a sugar or something, and then snorting it, whatever. Anyway, it's so funny because when I watched it then, I was like, "Oh man, he's got the fat girl, ha ha ha." But then I just realized when I got older, I was like, that was taking one for the team before it was called taking one for the team. So hilarious movie. It's funny, but it does teach you a lesson. It really does, especially if you ever ran into a woman like that really, has a good person in his life, and then she ends up screwing him over for the loser. Yeah, that's you guys know what that feels like, or you women who've done that before. Not good. Anyway, but the soundtrack to that movie is also good too. They've got a lot of good ones. It's let's see, they've got "Keep on Loving You" by REO or REM or whatever. I don't know. I keep on loving you. That's a good one. So the soundtrack is really dope too. What is the other one with very famous dun, 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 with open arms. That they're on that. Whip It. You Whip It Good. Na, 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 na. That's on there. Oh, Quincy Jones, Just Once. Man, that's a good song. You guys, if you ever heard that one, that's a good one. Just once. Can you do? That's a good one. You gotta listen to that one. So yeah, I mean, that was a good movie, and I really enjoyed that. It's one of my movies I like to watch when no one was paying attention, because it did have a little, a lot of nudity and boobs, and I was like 9 or 10 years old. I don't even know if I had a copy of the movie or something. I didn't even know how I saw it, honestly. But that was a good movie. We can fast forward a little bit to like a modern day, movie that I really like to watch, and it's one of my favorites. Is Crazy Stupid Love. Have you guys seen that one? Oh man, I can watch that one for days too. Like I just think the whole plot is great. You know, the mom, the dad, the son. It's just a good. It's just a good movie, I want to talk about another. I should have talked about another movie before this one, but when what's his name, the white guy, handsome guy, the dad meets him in a bar, and he's like, let me tell you what you need to do. You're wearing this, you're doing that, and you know what? I've always thought to myself like and I'm gonna repeat myself in the one of the other movies I'm gonna talk about here, but I always liked, I don't know, but I've never been shy. You know what I mean? I've never been the type to be like, oh, I can't go and say anything to her because she'll say no, or she might not think I'm handsome or whatever. But I've always been, the guy who was, could do that. You know what I mean? And that brings me to another movie, and I'm just gonna say it is Boomerang, with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence and David Alan Grier. Eddie Murphy, and this is in the '90s, and I saw this movie, and the way Eddie Murphy was so smooth at talking to women, it just clicked with me. It's like, oh, he knows what he's doing. He's not being aggressive. He's not, being too cocky. You know what I mean? He's just assured of himself. He knows what he's confident. He's comfortable about talking to, the opposite sex, and I even got looking at women's toes because of that movie. You remember he meets that girl and he looks at her toes, and her toes are all ugly, and he's like, oh, and he doesn't talk to her again. I used to be like, let me see your toes, girl. I'm still like that to this day. Like you got some ugly toes. Ugh, I don't know. But I really did take everything I saw from that movie and applied it to my life. And just like a lot of these movies, I've done that. You know what I mean? Like I said, like I can really walk up to a woman out of the blue and just start a conversation, and it's not like all pushy at it. You know what I mean? Just confident. Just knowing when to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just go cold cut to a girl and say, hey, what's up, girl? What's your name? What's your number? Who you be with? Like Biggie say you can. Nah. You know what I mean? You gotta observe a little bit. You gotta, I don't want to get into all that. I don't want to get into, my smooth styles, because then I see y'all trying to take some of my stuff, and I can't be having that. So anyway, so that's what I got out of Boomerang. Like, you know what I mean? Just the confident, the distinguished person that he was, and how he acted and how he betrayed himself, and how he presented himself was just something that I loved. I love that movie. I really do. And it's funny as hell, especially when the dad comes in, Witherspoon. He's like, bang, 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 bang. You get to coordinate. Oh man, that's when he first came out with that bang, bang, bang. Most people think it's from Friday, but no, or House Party, or whatever one of those movies. But he would do that all the time, and that was just one movie that really. How do I say it? It really got me into being okay to talk to women. Being comfortable and just seeing that movie. You gotta watch it. There's just little things there. It doesn't go in drastic detail on how he does it, but just know if you get it, that movie will teach you how to do it. Honestly, I mean that's just what it is. So. And Halle Berry is hot in that movie. Like, I mean, she's, you know what I mean? She's not like overly thick or voluptuous or anything like that. She's really skinny, but just real pretty, and it's a good movie. Who else is in that movie? Mike Tyson's ex-wife. Robin Givens in that movie. That's a good one, and she's she's good. She's good in that movie. And I just like and be any party where he thinks he's gonna get this promotion, so he ends up sleeping with this old lady, Lady Eloise, and he ends up sleeping with her, and then like he doesn't get the job, and she's like Marcus. Hilarious. That one is hilarious. You guys, you gotta watch Boomerang. It's really good. So yeah, that's a good movie. Oh, I do want to talk about this one movie. I don't watch it a lot, but it's a good movie. I mean, it's funny, it's decent, but it's the one with Mel Gibson, where he can read their minds, or what damn, Christina Aguilera came out on the soundtrack to What a Girl Wants, or What Women Want, and you can read mind. He wakes up one day and he's like can hear women talk and do this other thing, all the stuff. Like he walks up to a lady and she's like, "Oh, what are you looking at?" And he's like, "What'd you say?" She's like, "Nothing." And you know what I mean? That movie's pretty good, but I'll tell you one thing for sure: I do not want that power. I would not wish that power on anybody. I do not want to know. You know, that's just like that. That's something like if I'm out there in the streets, right, and I can read women's mind, and I'm walking up to you, right, and then you just, she looks at me and it's just like, you are the ugliest. Your beard is all scraggly. Don't even come talk to me. Like, I would hate that. I mean, you could use it to your deal, right? Like, you can use it to your, like, if you say, oh, your beard is not even fully grown. Like, you know what? I know my beard's not fully grown. I know you're thinking, oh, my eyebrows are too thick, but guess what? I could definitely change that because I could shave, I could do my eyebrows, and I could be the man that you want. Something like that. But I would just hate it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be walking down the street and this girl saying something about somebody or saying, that's something I do not want. I do not want to read women's mind. I'd rather guess. I'd rather ask questions. I'd rather do all that versus learning something about listening to somebody saying something out without saying it out loud, and I know it. I don't want that at all. At all. I would definitely not like that. So the last movie, and there's a lot of movies that I like. You know what I mean? There's a lot of chick flicks that I like. There's a lot, The Notebook is another good one. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. That's a good one. Oh, The Devil Wears Prada. I love that movie. Anne Hathaway's hot. And What a Girl Wants. Why I like watching that. What a Girl Wants is because what's her name is in there. What is her name? I got Anne Hathaway's because Alyssa Tomei. Dude, Alyssa Tomei is another one of those women that are just gorgeous with her age. You know what I mean? She's in What a Girl Wants, and she's in Crazy Stupid Love. And she's so like wild in that movie. Anyway, I'm a sucker for chick flicks. I don't care. Take away my man card, whatever. But I could watch any of those movies, Lifetime movies. I sit with my mom and we watch Lifetime movies. I always know how it ends. But my mom and my aunt Rosie, and my aunt and my cousin Laura, they're always like, Gil, have you seen this movie? And I'm like, oh no, I haven't seen it on Netflix or something. I'm like, oh yes, I've seen it. It's good. You should watch it. You know what? That's just me. You know what I mean? I'm a romantic. I sucker for a romance, I guess. Romantic, whatever. I am a Cancer, so that might have anything to do with it. What is that called when people say you're romantic? I can't remember what it's called when they say that you sucker for romance, or what is it called? Anyway, whatever. So anyway, the last movie I'm gonna talk about, if I can't think of any other movies off the top of my head. Oh, The Devil Wears Prada 2's coming out. Y'all better watch that one. Definitely gonna get some tickets for that. Um, but the last one, this really doesn't have anything to do with my life. I never really took it, and put it into my life. But Urban Cowboy, man, classic. Soundtrack is amazing. I have the soundtrack on vinyl. I have Dirty Dancing on vinyl too. Um, but Urban Cowboy, love the movie. I loved everything about it. The soundtrack is dope. But that question that every man has to answer and needs to answer. And I have a shirt too that says Pam or Ceci. Now, let me break it down to you. Let me break it down to you what Gilly Gill thinks. Ceci, she was a hood rat. Ain't it simple? She went to that bar every day. There's a bar right here down the street called Stetson's, and I see the same women there every single time I stop going because they're the same women, but they're there constantly. You know what I mean? And you know the deal. You meet men there, you talk to them, you go out, and it doesn't work. You come back, and it just rotates. It just rotates over and over again. So that's Ceci. Ceci's a barfly. Is that what they call barflies? So she's John Travolta gets there and tries to make a housewife out of her, right? You know that thing, can't turn a hoe into a housewife. But that's who she was. You know what I mean? So she's been through it, whatever. Bud is a guy who probably really never really even had a relationship, up until then. He met her and they had a great time and blah 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 blah. Right? Then he ends up rushes in and getting married to her, whatever. And then she notices what every other guy noticed in her life, right? That this is what she was. She lied. She lied. First off, she lied. He said, "Don't get on there. I don't want you to get on there." She ends up getting on there, flirts with the guy, whatever. And then, they end up being in the same bar at the same time, and she's ended up dancing with this dude. So then he grabs homegirl Pam and goes dancing with her. Now, to me, honestly, why are you doing that? Why are you getting going and dancing with another man when your husband's there? That right there is the reason you can't turn her home into a housewife. There's no reason for her to do that, but she does it anyway. So guess what? I'm gonna up you up one. I'm gonna go and I talk to Pam, and Pam's out there looking for a cow. She might be a barfly, but at least she's going somewhere different. You know what I mean? Like she goes somewhere else. She was there with her friends and came over here. Just one of those girls that just went out and met somebody. He happened to be married, but anyway. Boom! He gets here, hangs out. He says, "When are you gonna take me home?" Let's go. Whoa! She's gonna find me a cowboy, ladies. And Pam was the perfect wife, perfect girlfriend. Had a nice job. Daddy owned half of Houston or wherever the hell they were. She had money. She was pretty. She, just was the package. That's why I say it was always been Pam. He should have never went back to Ceci. He should have let Ceci go there and live with that fucker and let them go off. Should have got arrested with him. That's what he should have done. That would have been the perfect ending to me. Honestly, it's always been Pam to me. Let me know what you think. But Pam, it was just, I would have chose Pam. I would have not have gone back to Ceci. I would have gotten divorced. And Pam, we would have been here. I don't even care if Pam didn't clean the house like she said it to, or wrote a nice little letter. Pam didn't have to do any of that because Pam didn't do anything wrong. So, family car is waiting. But awesome deals there. And like I say, man, I love a good gangster movie. Boys in the Hood, Men in Society, Blood In, Blood Out, Colors, Top Dog. I mean, I love a good action movie. Troy, Last Samurai, good comedies, you know what I mean? Harlem Nights, Friday, House Party. It was a good one. I love that one. But damn, you know what? I'm a sucker for chick flicks, and I'll watch a chick flick anytime, any day, whenever. But that's it. That's all I got to now. It's getting kind of late. Need to get ready to go to bed. I gotta get up early in the morning and start chopping up these lettuce. Chop, 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 chop. But like I said, you know what I mean. If you need a barber, come holler at me. I'm on Decked Out Parlor Shop, 6025 Chesel Road. Y'all need a barber? You know anybody who needs a haircut? Tell them to come see me. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Be distinguished, stay distinguished, learn something, don't get in trouble. All right, y'all. Late.